Welcome to the 6th video on beginning CSS. We are going to use the code from the last video that we did and continue on. Now, in previous videos, a lot of the CSS rules that we set up were generic rules. So that is, when we set the rule up, it would apply to every element on our web page. And what I mean by that, if we take a look here at the paragraph rule we set up, this would apply towards all of the paragraph elements that we had in our HTML document. So you can see here, everything is red, as it should be. The rule was applied to every P element that it found. So even though these are separate elements, P elements, it applied it to every one of these elements because we told it to do that. Now you might ask the question, how do I select these paragraphs individually? And that is where classes come into play. And so let's say now we want this paragraph right here to be blue, and we want this paragraph right here to be green. And so we have to use classes, as I said. And so we're going to come down here into the element, and we're first going to add our class name here. So you add the class to the element first, and then you create the rule up here. So first we'll create the class, and you say class equals, so that's an attribute, that's the attribute. And you type in equals, and then it'll be double quote, and you put in the name of the class you want, and it can be anything, but you should make this something relevant, so we'll call this blue, because this is going to be blue text. And then we'll close it. Okay, and then let's go down here, and actually let's not leave a space there. And then we'll go down here, and we'll go ahead and copy and paste this, and we'll make this green text right here. So now we've got our two classes. And so we're going to come up here, and now we can go ahead and select our classes. And let's go ahead and do that. And so we put a dot here. Now the dot is used to specify the class that we defined down here. And in this case, we're going to call this blue. And we'll go ahead and change this to blue. And now let's just copy and paste this rule. And we will now create one for our green text that we want. And now we've selected the P element with the green class. Okay, so we're all set. So now let's go back up here, and I just wanted to point out pretty much everything else is the same if you take a look. I mean, it's the same brackets that we have here, same type of rules. Everything else is the same. It's just this dot here that we specify a class now. So we're using a selector, and we're selecting the class with the dot. And so let's go ahead and save this. And let's go ahead and close this out. We don't need this anymore. And let's reopen this. And there you see, we've got our blue text and we've got our green text. You know what? We probably should have made this purple or something because we had our, if you remember in the last video, we had our H1 and H2 tags green. So let's go ahead and switch that really quick to purple. And we'll change the class name to make it more relevant. And we'll come up here and call this purple. We'll save this. And there you see, we've got our purple text from our purple class. And now we've got our blue text from our blue class that we created. Oh, before we go, I wanted to point out one more thing. You'll notice that we put the class attribute in the first tag. So it's not in the closing tag, it always goes in the first element tag here. And so that's just the way that works. And it goes inside the angle brackets for the first element tag, as you can see here. So it's always inside the angle brackets of the first element tag. And so that's how classes work. And I'm going to do another video on this. There's some more nuances to this, and we'll cover that in the next video. See you guys then.